What is up, good people? I am here with Hayden Owens of Quality Coats Painting. What's up, my man? Welcome to the Business Breakthrough. How are you?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. Doing
Of
good.
course, man. Of course. So you checked out some of these on YouTube and decided to enter into the arena. So tell me a little bit about your business and what's been going on, who you are, and what you do.
Yeah, for sure. Well, my name's Hayden. I've got three children and a beautiful wife, and that's why I started my business. I had my
Love
first
that.
kid. She's about to be 7 now, my first,
Wow.
and I had to decide on a way to provide for my kiddos. And I knew how to do roofing sales because I was
Okay.
in sales for a while, and I did painting prior years before that. So I kind of married those two things, my sales experience with my painting know-how, and started up Quality Coats Painting 2019.
Wow.
And when we started with a twofold vision: wanted to provide high quality paint jobs and a stress-free experience, and
Nice.
then wanted to provide job opportunities in the area for people. So that's something that's
Well, that's
really,
a mission right there, brother. I love that.
yeah, exactly. It's got to have some purpose. It's not just
Got
about the
to,
money.
man. Got
So
to. So how's the business doing?
it's doing pretty well, man. I can't complain. Last year was terrible. Then this year's been great
Okay.
overall in terms of stress, right?
Sure.
So
So last year was down, this year we're up. So
yeah.
what brings you for the breakthrough, man? What areas of your business are you looking for some insight on, some clarity?
Well, I just want to. So I'm at this threshold of growth where I'm that three to, I don't even know how much, maybe $600,000 threshold, and I'm kind of stuck at that barrier, and I want to find the areas that are keeping me from breaking through um, that barrier. I tried to break through that barrier last year, got to 456K, got a salesman hired, was working like 8 people as a crew, and everything was inefficient. Everything was breaking down, and I had to start taking jobs
Okay.
myself and paint myself just to make payroll.
Wow.
I did good at getting out of the way and allowing people to make mistakes. There's just way too many mistakes made. So just wanting to learn what my blind spots are, and what are the areas that if you were to go back to that growth stage, what would be your focus points? What would you really attack to make sure that you are able to open up that bottleneck that ends up inevitably happening at that stage?
Yeah, I mean it's a very simple formula. And that formula is, the same formula we're all trying to solve and optimize. It's more leads, more
Hmm.
opportunities, more estimates, more sales. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is the formula for business, brother. And
Hmm.
how we attack those four areas are going to make all the difference. Um, I'm going to ask you how you're attacking those areas. Now, I know that you're using forward media marketing, my buddy Lucas. So,
Hmm.
so you've identified that, hey, I need more leads,
For
right?
sure.
That's number
Hmm.
one. Like, in order to make this happen, I have got to offload my marketing to someone else. But that's only one channel.
Hmm.
So if we just relied on Facebook ads, we wouldn't be near as successful as we are.
Hmm.
So what other channels do you have for your marketing?
So for marketing, I've got one person going door to door right now.
Okay.
Uh, I want to over time create a like a 3 to 4 man door to door team. Once I finally have the time to do so. But currently, just have somebody going door to door. I've got Angie. I've got some money that I draw about 800 a month with Angie, and they've done well. That's stayed right around 12% on marketing spend. Website, and a lot of it's referral. A lot of it's repeat clients and
Okay.
referrals.
So
So
you have
just
one
kind
guy
of.
doing door to door, you got Angie
Mhm.
leads, you got website, you got
Mhm.
Facebook. What's Google looking like?
Yeah, I do Google. I do what is it? The Google guarantee that they have. So
Okay.
I'm on that, and I have done some other Google advertisement that's gone decently well,
Okay.
but I've opted towards doing forward media marketing over
Okay.
doing Google, at least in the next 90
All
to
right. So
180
in the
days.
last 30
Mhm.
days, so let's say,
Mhm.
May 12th, how much money's been generated from Google?
From Google itself, I would
Yeah.
say, I mean, look, and I could tell you, last 30 days, 11K. 30K
About
from,
30K
yeah, hmm
from
25,
Google.
30K. hmm
All right. And then how about from Facebook?
Facebook, I just started with Lucas last week, and I've sold my first one for just under
Oh,
5K.
that's in the last 30 days. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. And then how many leads have you generated from Google in the last 30 days?
Let's see here. About 10. Not
About
very
10.
many. hmm
Okay. And then how about from Google so far?
But that was what I was answering was for Google.
Oh,
For
sorry, I meant for Facebook.
for Facebook, it's been 12 since I
Okay.
started with them.
And then how about from your website? You know that?
Website, it's a little harder to track because half of my website leads are coming from the Facebook at this point.
Gosh.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so
the website, I would say, and half of that ends up being Google too, the way that I track it, even though it's
okay,
a website form that gets submitted, the traffic was generated by Google. So just organic website, I'm not 100% on, but at
100% sure.
least I would
Okay.
say a lead or
How
two
about
from
Angie
there.
leads?
Angie's hovering right around 15 a month.
Okay. And then door to door?
Door to door, we're just starting up again. Last year, that was generating, I was having somebody go out 20 hours, and that was generating anywhere from 15 to 20 leads a week.
15 to 20 leads a week?
hmm
Okay. All right, but you haven't had any in the last 30 days. You're just starting to back up?
Yeah, just literally just starting that one back
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So based off of that, for the month, how many total
Mhm.
leads? Do you have that in front of you?
I just have to move this
That's
over,
okay.
but
What are
yeah,
you using to track all this?
I use Google
Okay.
Sheets. I've got really granular with all my stuff with Google at this point. So for the month, you said
Yeah.
for April we're at 43. For May we hit 24, and so far for June we're at
For
20.
April, you're at 43. For May, you're
Mhm.
at how many?
Just 24. Not very many came in
Okay.
in
So we
May.
got a little bit of an issue in May.
hmm
And then June, we're just kicking off. So
Yeah.
we're at 43, 24. May was low, and then April was high. Now,
Yeah.
are you tracking your set rate?
Yes.
Okay. So in April, do we have a number for set rate?
Yes. Yeah. So for April, I'm at my closing rate for April 75%. My conversion rate on the lead was 27.9%.
And that 27.9, that's 27.9%. And how about May?
May, 45% conversion with a closing rate of 54%.
45% conversion with a closing rate of 54%. Okay. So May, you had a stronger conversion rate with less leads. And of course, in April, you had a lower conversion rate with more leads.
Yeah.
Now, what is your follow-up process like for those leads that came in April?
For April, the process is I text them primarily. So I just have a sequence of maybe 5 or 6 texts that I use. If I'm not, I initially call them, try to call them within 15 minutes of receiving the lead. I'd say maybe 30% of those actually answer. And outside of that, I'm just texting, texting, texting.
So you're doing it manually?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna nudge you on that because you need some automations. I mean,
Yeah,
it
for
is
sure.
what it is. I
hmm
mean, you're at a
hmm
point now where there's just so much volume going on that Hayden can only do so much.
Yeah.
That that
Yeah.
that's
I agree.
important.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is that just because we had a 27, just because we can be retrospective on our set rate in
hmm
April, and we could say, hey, April was 27.9%, doesn't mean,
Yeah.
Hayden, that can't increase in June, right? Because
Yeah.
if we have automations going out in those emails and those text messages, well, guess what? Maybe
hmm
somebody today who receives an email from your company looks at that email and says, hey, I am ready now. I had a death in
hmm
the family or had something going on. Your
Yeah.
April set rate goes up to
Yeah.
33%, right? And
Yeah.
this is all done through automations.
hmm
Big asterisk here with scaling to 600 to a million is
hmm
capitalizing on opportunity. And
Yeah.
opportunity, there's 43 opportunities in April, 24 in May. I think
hmm
May I don't know what it was, man, but you had a really good increase on your lead management and follow-up. I don't know if that was because you had more office time or you just were maybe a little more motivated, or I think
Mhm.
you know the difference. Now, I would say
Mhm.
also 15 minutes is way too long. You mentioned how
Yeah.
you try to get in contact within 15 minutes. Now, these
Mhm.
are granular changes, but
Mhm.
instant communication within seconds, automated, or a phone call within 2 minutes is going to be
Gotcha.
a kicker. It does make a difference.
Mhm.
I've been doing this long enough, brother, to tell you that, like, with 100% heart to heart certainty,
Mhm.
within 2 minutes is going to make all the difference. I've had so many conversations with people that wanted to rush me off the phone
Mhm.
after they submitted their information. Have you ever experienced this?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Why do you think that is? I want to help you through this so we can lock this in as an
But
SOP of,
people get busy, so they're
I don't
busy in
think
their
that's the
day.
reason.
Something happens.
It's not about being busy. I think
Mhm.
what it is because it's so easy to connect with a business through an ad that
Mhm.
the commitment is done with the click of a button. And
Mhm.
maybe that commitment of clicking the button was done faster than the logical reasoning of, do I
Mhm.
need this project? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mhm.
Right? So if
For
I see
sure.
an ad, it's like click the button. Well,
Mhm.
wait a minute, hold on a second. Like, you're just moving so fast on social media, or you see an ad, and maybe
Mhm.
you've had like, so for me, like, I call it absorbing the blow. And if you recognize that in most people, especially with Facebook leads,
Mhm.
because I think you would know by now that Facebook's different than Google in terms of the
Yeah.
type of person you get and their motivations,
Yeah.
especially for
For sure.
Facebook leads, right? Especially
Definitely.
for Angie leads. So you have two areas. When you see Angie, when you see Facebook, pounce on them like a lion, dude,
Mhm.
because you got to understand that every minute that goes by, compounded negatively, that motivation fades away. Okay.
Gotcha.
I want to hit that hard because the next
Mhm.
question I have for you is, who's helping you in the office?
No one.
Okay.
That's
That's a
just me.
problem. That's a
I
big
do all
problem.
my own accounting. I do all my own reconciliations, everything. It only
Okay.
takes me like hardly any time at this point.
I
So I've been
understand
doing it
that.
for
But
5 years.
but but the thing is that the thought of something not taking you long is
Mhm.
going to prohibit you from actually
Mhm.
getting someone in to take it over for you, because you're not able to justify the cost if you're comparing it to your time. You're like, well, this is easy for me to do. This is easy for me to
Mhm.
do. This is easy for me to do. And you keep saying this about like all the different things, but is it
Mhm.
the most optimized way to do it? Like, for example, as you grow, there's more of a requirement for you to do these things that at one point were easy for you to do. Like, for example, you weren't
Mhm.
getting 43 leads 2 years ago, were you?
No.
Okay.
Mhm.
So like, it was easy for you to follow up with 7 to 10 leads as they came into your system. Now you're at 24, you're at 43. And then of course,
Mhm.
all the different things that have to happen within the day. Now you have projects going on. How many projects do you have going on right now?
We just do one a week right now.
You do
We're
one
clicking on.
project a week.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, Pretty efficient to hit your numbers at one job a week.
And we've got 3 people. So one thing I have done is I've gotten the culture just amazing. It's top
Dialed in.
notch.
Sounds like you
Yeah.
got the Marine Corps of
Yeah.
painters there, man. Three guys carrying the
But
load of business.
no, that's me too. Yeah. So it's two
Oh, so you're
people
doing
and
some work
then
as
me.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still doing some work.
So
Okay.
yeah, we're doing like 25 to 30K a month with
Okay.
3 people.
So you're at the $300,000 range, wanting to get. Okay, I thought I heard 450 for some reason, but in any case,
450
you're
was last year.
okay.
Hmm.
So you're on a good trajectory. I mean, with
Yeah.
where you're heading, you're
Yeah.
maximizing really well. But
Hmm.
here's the deal: you have to. This is a very deep thing, because I'm not trying to offend you. I want you to know this comes from a place of like,
Yeah.
let me help
Hmm.
you, because
Hmm.
you survived this long because you were heavily involved in the operations of the end result.
For
Okay.
sure. Hmm.
I mean, brother,
Definitely.
you have a finger on the pulse to the point where you want to do it your way. You want to do your spreadsheets, you want to do your follow-ups, you want to do your
Hmm.
job progress, and all that's fine. No one will take that away from you, but you need to
Hmm.
implement some habits now while it's manageable, in
Hmm.
order to grow, because you and I both know that you're not going to get anywhere close to the numbers you want to get to if only one job is going on, which means you have to
Yeah.
pass over ownership to someone else and
Definitely.
delegate that to someone else. So
Yep.
the big asterisk here is your ability to delegate.
Hmm.
responsibility. Can I ask you why you haven't delegated much of your business to either other softwares or to other people, or to why has it been sort
Well,
of letting
it's not that I haven't. I have. I
go?
did
Okay.
that. So what would it be? 2021. I had a really good year doing
Okay.
a school job where we profited like, $90,000
Big job.
in 8 weeks. And I took that and I rolled it into scaling the company. Just to
Okay.
give you some context. And then I spent all of last year doing scaling activities, getting job Nimbus, having automated emails, having a salesman on salary, having a production manager, all of those things. And I know you know the principle that when you start to lose, it will breed losing, and when you win, it breeds winning.
I could
Well,
agree with that. Momentum.
breakdowns, yeah, momentum. It could be negative or
Sure.
positive. And we started just having negative momentum. Just things just were breaking down in every single sector because of how fast I scaled and because of the complexity of the services that I was offering.
Sure.
Those two complexities worked together against me. So at this point, I've trimmed everything back down to bare bones, and now I'm hyper profitable. And that's really all I care about at this moment is staying profitable. So I'm a bit guarded a little bit, when it comes to, okay, who am I going to let in?
Yeah,
What's my
but
next hire going to
and I'm
be?
with
What
you
are the
about that.
sequences going to be?
But the
So,
essence of compound growth is
hmm.
risk in
It
business.
is, yeah,
It's the
hmm,
same
for sure,
principle in life. When you quit your job, the
yeah,
essence of the financial dramatic improvement was founded on risk of quitting, right?
yeah, definitely, no,
It's the only path, Hayden. So
yeah,
here's the deal. Like, I think there needs to be an evolution that occurs within your mindset of
hmm,
this. I am in startup phase. I don't care about making money. I care about making future money. That's the mindset. Because if the
I
mindset
don't
right
agree
now,
with that.
well, you have
I just,
responsibilities,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the term money is used lightly in a sense of
yeah,
abundant money right now. I mean, there's going to be a time where you capitalize profitably, but
yeah,
there's also a time that in this time period you're trading a lot of your time for that.
yeah.
And
I get,
there's a better
mhm.
way.
Yeah, I get that to a degree for sure. I receive what you're saying. It's just the Silicon Valley business philosophy of growth. That's what I don't agree with. We're gonna be in the red until we'll finally make it in the black and explode
There's
big.
no red here.
That's not
I
okay.
didn't
Yeah,
mention red. That's easy. It's easy to
no,
misinterpret. I'm not mentioning red. I
okay.
think you can
Sorry,
make
sorry.
that's
Yeah.
okay. I think you can make a livable salary, but you're not going to
Hmm.
hit grand slams because you're reinvesting those profits into hiring an office admin, right?
Hmm.
Number one, which is an expense, maybe
Yeah,
$30,000 to $40,000 a year that right now doesn't seem to yield a return, but it'll prepare you for the next
gotcha.
level. You will need an admin at $1 million a year. There's no
Yeah,
question about it. You're not going to
yeah,
be painting, estimating, following up with customers. You're gonna implode. There's
yeah,
an
for sure.
implosion that will occur. It already occurred because of some other
Hmm.
things that you mentioned of being stretched too thin. Second thing
Yeah,
is
yeah, you're
who's
right.
running the jobs? Is it you or is it someone else?
I have somebody else running the jobs primarily. We have a
Okay.
foreman, and he's pretty well trained.
He's
He's
pretty
been with
well
me four
trained.
years.
Got it. Cool. Are you just doing house painting now? Are you doing cabinets? Are you doing exterior painting? What are you doing?
We primarily focus on exteriors in the 250 to $450,000 range, but
Beautiful.
we also do interiors and we do cabinets as
Right
well.
now, that
Yeah.
one crew is responsible to generate all of the money for corporate office. It's important for you to
Yeah.
understand that concept. Okay. So they're
Hmm.
responsible to not only foot the bill for all the labor that's required to pay for the employees, they're
Yeah.
responsible to fulfill your salary and the profits that you may be taking from the business. They're
Yeah.
responsible to foot the bill for all the marketing, right? And guess what?
Hmm.
There's a cap on how much they can produce no matter
Yeah.
how hard they work.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
And that's exactly where I'm at is that cap.
Okay.
That
So
is where that's the.
I call it the Big Bang theory, where two
Hmm.
crazy things need to happen at one time in order for it to make it work, and it has to just bang together. There's
Hmm.
no tap on the shoulder that says, "Okay, Hayden, now's the time to get the other crew up." It's a risk. It's risky, and this is where I'm telling you where you're going to have to forego profit, make salary, make wage right
Hmm.
now to get to the point of profit, which requires, and it sounds like you're an employee guy like me, You don't
Hmm.
do subs, right? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So you're speaking my language. What it
Hmm.
requires is the investment in a new truck, because that's the first step.
Hmm.
It's setting up that truck. You and I both know that. It's like you're not going to
Hmm.
start the crew without having a van for them to operate effectively in. Am I in line right there?
Yeah.
Is that true? So
Yeah.
so do
Hmm.
you have another van for another crew to prepare for this?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. I like Chevy 2500s. You can get them on Facebook Marketplace between 5 and 10 grand.
Hmm.
Amazing. They don't need to be flashy. It doesn't matter. Deck them out. You're going to need to budget at least $3,000 for sprayer, ladders, brushes,
Yeah.
right? So this is the initial investment. Now you have it set up. The second most important aspect of this, Hayden, is who's going to be managing that second crew.
Hmm.
Do you have anyone in that crew of 3 that can get a promotion to manage the second job?
Not right now. No.
Okay. So we need to find that individual.
No.
And now, is that something that you're open to within the next 30 days?
So, somewhat. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Because here's the thing, the transition doesn't have to be so black and white. The transition could
Hmm.
just be you bring in a 4th person with the idea that your crew is going to grow in size. Job times are
Hmm.
going to get a little tricky. But what's beautiful about this is you can split them off and separate the team into 2s where needed. And I've been in this situation where I can take one person off of a job and know that it'll still get done on that last day, and then have a team of 2 start the next one. And you
Yeah.
kind of do it that way until you get to a point where it's like, okay, it makes sense now to schedule 2 things separately.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Hmm.
That's going to be the same thing that happens when you get to the 3rd crew. It's just going to be like a kind of like a natural progression into the 3rd, but you can't do it without leadership. But I see a big problem here. And the problem is that you have a business that's dependent on a 4th person performing work. So there's an illusion of production because the goal of your business is to get you out of the brush. Okay. So
Hmm.
I don't think you can accurately predict production right now because most of the time, like you said, you're involved in it. What does the situation look like where you're removed from production entirely? Would you be even okay with that at this time?
Yeah. Hmm. Yep.
So would it make more sense for maybe you to work with someone else on that crew of 2 and form that second crew? Like let the first crew go by themselves, second crew, Hayden and the new guy work together. You get to
Yeah.
feel them out. You get to train them the way you want them to be trained. Here is
Hmm.
customer interactions, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking is have just start picking up a project or 2 extra a month and have another hand hired
I have another hand high.
initially. Yeah. Hmm.
Can we talk about your hiring process?
I don't have one.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
good. It's okay. Dude, I'm here to help. I
Yeah.
want you to
Hmm.
understand this because I want to know how you found such great people because like
Hmm.
was it luck? Was it skill? Like how did you get these people in your business? Where did they come from?
Well, my foreman is one of my best friends. We've known each other since we were 15, so
Awesome,
we've
but
known each
lucky.
other a long time. And lucky, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's been working with us for almost 5 years, almost the entire time. So,
Amazing. So
yeah.
cool, man. Who else
Mhm.
do you have with you? I don't need to know too much detail, but just how'd you find them and what did they contribute?
And the other person we recently hired within the past month. So
Okay.
I,
From
I
where?
recovered from almost being out of business to building it back up right now,
I'm
right?
proud of you, man.
Uh,
You're
so,
ascending.
yeah, exactly. So we just hired him a month ago. Well, I guess it's coming into two
How'd you
months,
find
and
him?
just from another friend that he needed
Okay.
work, and just kind of found him in
Luck,
that.
luck.
Yeah,
Okay.
just luck. I
Ride the wave.
initially went on Indeed, and then going on Indeed, a friend ended up just
Okay.
telling me, "Hey, I got somebody."
And then the third guy.
That's me.
No kidding.
I'm the third guy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So first of all, like again,
it's
I
just
can't
three people.
I can't I can't applaud you enough
Yeah.
for the efficiency that you've created in your business.
Hmm.
Like you guys must crush. And you're here with me on 12 o'clock on a Wednesday, so they're probably out working right now.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. So thank you for that time because I know that time would otherwise be spent doing something super valuable. I got to give you something before you leave today. The
Hmm.
first thing is that you need a process for everything that was lucky. And everyone falls into luck, but we want to reverse engineer that. We want to make sure
Yeah,
that we won't ever be in
for
a
sure.
position where hiring is like a barrier. It shouldn't be because the labor pool is vast and there's a
Yeah.
lot of great people out there. And what hiring does is give you confidence. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you might be. Are you a perfectionist? Like when you're on the job?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, and I figured.
I've
So
I've gone through too many blue tape jobs to
I'm
not be,
sure,
you
I'm
know.
sure, I'm sure, I'm sure. But I think there's a good amount of people that you would find that appreciates that standard. Okay, wants
Mhm.
to work for a guy like you. I'm sure you're going to make sure everyone gets paid on time. That creates a good culture. There's opportunity for growth. Like all of these things matter.
Mhm.
Um, what's most important is you have an easy system where you can turn the lever on, and you could just get applicants that fit those requirements, and you have a system to filter out those
Mhm.
applicants that fit those requirements. Okay, so the first step of this by far is for you to train yourself on what to look for when it comes cold from Indeed, because I'm going to assume that you're going to
Mhm.
run out of luck today when it comes to hiring. So this is very important. The first
Mhm.
thing is the ad. I can't emphasize enough what that ad is. Have you seen? I don't know if you get my emails, but I just put out a hiring course. Have you seen the emails for that?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, I want to show you something here. Okay, now real quick, we're
Mhm.
going to do something together. I'm going to share my screen. I want you to see this. Okay,
Okay.
real quick, I want you to tell me your company's core values. Like what's important to you? And you already told me in the beginning, which I love, but kind of
Uh-huh.
just shorten it a little bit. Give me those like nuggets of core values.
That's a character,
Character.
care,
Okay, care.
courage,
Okay, I like the C's. I like where we're going with this. Charisma.
conscientiousness.
Conscientiousness. Okay. So I
Flimley.
like this. So watch this. So
Yeah,
we can
it
we're
keeps
gonna
going.
frame it as the four C's, right?
Uh-huh.
Love that, right? Can we do that? Okay, because
Mhm.
I want you to identify hiring as a form of marketing, right? And what's
Okay.
cool is like something like the four C's can also be used in your marketing to your customers, right? Maybe do you do
Oh
this
yeah.
or like
Oh,
new?
for sure. Yeah,
Cool.
that's
Like,
yeah, we use the values all the time.
I love that. So
Uh,
like we're gonna use that. Now let me ask you this. If you had to pick like one hire to make right now, okay,
mhm.
to optimize this energy that you're gonna put into this, would it be a
Mhm.
potential crew leader or would it be someone to fill your shoes as a um let's say you're kind of in the position of like a journeyman working if someone else is the foreman. So
Mhm.
what's the most optimal hire right now for what we're trying to accomplish?
Crew lead, for
A
sure.
crew lead.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mhm.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna adjust the company's production process to teams of two for right now, because that would
Mhm.
mean that you have the foreman, you have your B level who was the new hire, okay,
Mhm.
which it looks like you're there probably teaching and training to help
Mhm.
him be more effective for the foreman. Is that the case right now?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
Definitely.
on the second crew, we have what we're looking for is a foreman. Okay.
Mhm.
Here's the most beautiful thing of this whole thing. Hayden, this is lining up perfectly. The first month of this new person coming in, all they're going to do is fill your shoes. And they should have experience, right? I mean, we can't have a foreman run a job without experience. But that means that you're not required to flip the switch on a second crew yet, because what they're doing is just filling your shoes on the first crew. Expenses are
Mhm.
going to go up,
Mhm.
production's going to go down. That's
Mhm.
what I meant earlier when I said we need to not be too concerned about profit right now. That has nothing to do with going red. That just means that we're just going to stay neutral for a little bit until the system kicks in. Okay,
Mhm.
so do you like this process? Because I'm going to show you something.
Yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
Okay, so check this out. Have you played around with Chat GPT yet?
I have, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Now, when you did your hiring ad, how long ago was that?
2 months.
2 months. Did you use Chat GPT for it, or did you just put up something?
Did. Mhm.
You did.
Yeah.
So you probably had an optimized ad. I'm just going to show you the prompt that I would use, and then I'm just going to show you how we're going to pair this up. So I'm
Okay.
a painting contractor with Quality Coats Painting. I'm looking for now you weren't looking for a crew leader when you put out that Indeed ad. You were looking for a painter,
Helper.
right?
Yeah.
A helper. I'm looking
Princess.
for a crew leader to help us move our company mission forward of creating a long-lasting house painting experience where we impact the lives of our homeowners. We operate on the core four C's, which are character, care, courage, and conscientiousness. I want to incorporate this in the hiring ad, and we are a company that provides opportunity for growth, great team culture, and a healthy work environment. for high-end residential homes. All right. So I don't know if your prompt was like that. I play with this thing all the time, so I kind of move the needle a little bit. So let's let
Uh,
that. I think it's like probably super impressed with that prompt. I don't know why it's not loading. Maybe it's time. Let me
takes
try
a
one
little
more
bit of time.
time.
It also depends
Hey,
on traffic too, sometimes
here
there's
it
a
is.
ton of
Yeah, here
traffic
it is.
there.
It's updating it now. So here's
Yeah.
join our team as a crew leader. Are you passionate about delivering an exceptional
Mm,
house painting experience? Okay. So
mm,
I'm going to just show you the kicker here. Okay. And I have a course for this. I'll share that with you at the end. Sounds like my
mm,
house over there, man. I got the kids. So I'm going to stop this right now. I'm going to go ahead and stop. Now you can see this. I'm going to share this with you, but the most important thing of this is to take those applicants and put them into a new place, which is a form, right? Because with the ad, you're just getting everyone who possibly has eyeballs that have seen that ad. But the key is to only send the form link to those that stand out that apply to that initial ad, and then have another vetting process on that side. What I find, Hayden, is that your time is limited. Hiring is risky as heck. It's going to exhaust you mentally. So what we want to do is create a system that only allows you to talk to people that have a very good chance of moving forward. Okay. So that's kind of the first process, is optimizing that ad, sending them to the form. And then there's a few other stages as well. But the
mm.
process is something that you can implement over and over and over again. It's going to shoot out a good result. I don't think I need to go into that. We talked a little bit about delegating. We talked about maybe a game plan for branching off into 2 crews. Anything else
Mm.
that you want to hit on? Sales, marketing? I mean, it seems like you're pretty dialed in on a couple other things.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty well dialed in the sales and marketing follow-ups I need to dial in on. And I do want to get drip jobs for the automation. I think it's a great product, by the way. And
Thank you, man.
I've been so impressed with the features that you've added over the past like year and a half. It's awesome, man.
It's been a lot, dude.
Awesome. Love
Look,
it.
man, everyone's got, the way I see it is this: you're either going to have an office admin, or you're
Mm.
going to have a great software that does office admin things for you. And
Yeah.
then the next level is having a great software for your office admin to go into,
To use. Yeah,
to use.
exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, dude, like I'm telling you right now, if I were to outline like 3 objectives for you within the next 30 days,
Mm.
these, remember, we're not talking red. And I know what you mean. I'm not that guy either. And by the way, Drip Jobs has no debt and we have
Mm.
no
That's
investors. So
awesome, man.
dude,
Good
no
job.
debt, fully
Yeah, yeah.
bootstrapped, no
Hmm.
corporate, none of that, dude. Okay. We're
Yeah,
community grown, buddy. Um,
that's cool.
so I just want to give you those 3 objectives. The first one is you
Mm-hmm.
need a crew leader, and I would hire one as soon as you possibly can, because you
Mm-hmm.
cannot compound. And here's the good news: you have jobs on the schedule, Hayden. This is good, right?
Oh yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
time to do this, because you can project that you'll have work for this individual. You can project
Mm-hmm.
that you're going to be making money. The worst time to do this is when sales are low, and it sounds like your closing rate is really good.
Yeah.
So 30 days you need a crew leader. Okay, you need an office admin. And what you should be looking at, maybe even someone part-time, if you want to start off 3 days a week. There's a really cool website, and there's a bunch of these popping up. It's called hiremymom.com, and it can
Mm-hmm.
all be done virtually. Every bit of it. You don't need an office. You don't need someone can literally be sitting in their computer. I could be your office admin, and I could do everything that I need to do to help you optimize from afar. Okay.
Mm.
So what are you using for your phone system right now in your business?
I just have my phone. I
Your
don't have
cell
a
phone?
system. Yeah, I just use my
Okay.
cell phone.
So I
Mm-hmm.
want you to think about what an office admin would need to be successful. And one of those things is, I'm pretty sure you're not going to put your phone in a mail envelope and mail it to them.
No.
No, you're not. So this raises a little bit of a concern, because Hayden, and do you mind if I go on this direction? I know we might be short on time.
No,
Do you have a couple
that's
minutes?
fine. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's fine.
So here's the deal. This means, Aiden, that we need to change your business phone number. I know this is crazy, but you have a decision to make. You either keep your cell phone number as the business phone number forever, and anyone that's ever met you or known you as a family member will now call you and someone will answer it for the business, or you make a decision to change the phone number today going forward. Now, everyone that has your phone number will always have your phone number. It'll work. But you have got to change the phone number if you want a phone-based system to be used within the business. Have you thought about
Mm.
that?
I haven't thought about it. Oh, I've just thought about transitioning that phone number into just a business number. because
That's
I
an
have it on
all-in move.
like a car wrap and everything, you know. So
Okay, I understand. That's an all-in type of move. So we can
mhm,
do that. I mean, that's somebody that embodies their business. I love that. But I
mhm,
also want you to start thinking even longer term of in 10
mhm,
years from now, when you build this thing up to $5 million a year, which you will, you're going to have
mhm,
the option to sell this thing, or you're going to have the option to let someone come in as an equitable partner and take over the operations. Now, what comes with that is they're going to say, hey, Hayden, we're going to handle that phone number from now on. So although, yes, you have some investments into that number, I'm not saying you
mhm,
need to delete it because that phone number will always work. My personal suggestion is you're going to sign up with OpenPhone, which is a cloud-based phone system, and get a new phone number. And then Lucas and whoever else is doing your marketing, okay?
mhm,
I have a link for you. You get a discount, by the way. Um, Whoever's doing your marketing will change that number on everything else. So any new customers starting today will just call that
mhm.
number. Why is that important? Let me show you. Okay, we're gonna get some momentum today, brother. I got you. So look at. Can you see my screen?
No,
You will be in a second. Here you go. I'm sharing my screen here. Tell me if you can see this. It says updating app on here.
yeah, I see it now.
All
Mhm.
right, let it load for a second. So what this is OpenPhone, and I want to show you a couple components of this. Do you see at the bottom here where it says Teresa?
Yeah,
That's my office admin. And what's cool about this is you can invite your team. So anytime this number rings, it rings her phone. So she's able to answer that phone with confidence and say, hi, this is Teresa with Premium Painting. How can I help you? Now, my suggestion, Hayden, is if I called you before this meeting, you would answer it like this. Hello, this is Hayden. How can I help you?
it's Hayden with Quality Coats Painting. How can I
Okay.
help you?
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're all in. I
yeah,
love that. But there's always a question of if it's a personal call or if it's a business call. You don't know
yeah,
because it's one number. So even
yeah,
something as subtle as that, we want to set our team up for success in the future. So this is
mhm,
a good move. Let's get this in place. I'm going to show you a couple automations you could do with this. Okay. So if we miss a phone call, I want to show you this. An automatic text message goes out. And if you have drip jobs, you can put that link in there. Okay. Why is this
mhm,
important? Well, what happens after 6 o'clock, dude? You have a full household. You're probably busy. You're probably doing dinner, hanging out with the kids, hanging out with the family, whatever that is.
mhm.
And that phone rings. And the first thing that you think of is, I got to answer this. Yes or no?
Yeah, mhm, for sure.
Beautiful thing about this is that it automates a text message to that person. So if they are calling for an estimate, it sends them a link and they can
Mhm,
take the next action with no friction. Most
mhm,
people are okay with this. Then you
mhm,
can respond to it at a more favorable time or the next day. Again, built in with OpenPhone. Beautiful. Another beautiful thing that you're going to like here is auditing our office admin. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, this is an AI summary and a recording aid, Hayden. And I know you're the type of guy that wants to make sure your team is doing their thing. So you're going to be able
mhm.
to audit these phone calls. You're going to be able to listen to them. You're going to be able to use AI if you want to be able to summarize these calls for coaching and making sure that 4C mission is being displayed properly and effectively. So those are just a couple things that I wanted to show you about that because getting a cloud-based system in your business, brother, that's going to open up the door for that admin to come in to work effectively, for you to audit them, for you to make sure, they're doing their job, and it'll really help. So, you get a mobile app with it. So whenever someone calls that number, the mobile phone rings. You can actually use Zapier, which I'm sure you've heard of. Yes.
Yeah, I use it. Mhm,
Okay, so what we do is when we get a new lead, we zap that contact information to OpenPhone and it has their contact name in there. So every time they
mhm.
call, we could say, "Hey, Joanne, how are you?" And they love it. They're like, "Oh, I'm good."
Yeah,
Instead of like, "Thank you for calling Premium Paint," like robotics, like, "Hey, Joanne, how you doing?" Like, we know it's you, and we're doing that because we're automating, so many things with that. And you can't do that with your cell phone,
yeah,
um, which you know. So
yeah,
you asked me earlier, what would I have done differently, or what is something I would have done? Is I would have just optimized my back end to prepare for the growth. Because when you do that, you're setting yourself up for the opportunities that come your way, and you can take them without having to think, can I handle this? Do I have the right infrastructure? You just go into it with the mindset that it's going to work.
yeah. I
Okay.
appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Of course, man. Of course. So crew
Good
leader,
stuff.
office admin, and then optimizing that back end, man. Getting that phone system up. I don't know if you know this. I just launched my school. Are you in it? No, you haven't seen the emails for it. I'll just show you real quick.
No.
So this is really neat. Actually, tomorrow, at the time of today is the 12th of June. So just so you know, this is my school here in the classroom. I have the employee hiring masterclass. So everything I just covered with you is loaded up into here. I got 12 lessons to go through the entire hiring process. But if you
Nice.
want, if you look at this calendar here, tomorrow at 12 o'clock, I'm doing a live workshop. And I will actually help launch your ad, and we'll set up the back end together and prepare people for coming in into that workflow. That's something I'm doing for everyone in my school. So, obviously a little little drop there, but it's important, man, because this stuff isn't easy, and it's important that you get this thing set up quick and you don't have any barriers going through. Hayden, man, I think we covered it all, my friend. Anything else before we head out?
I think that's it, man.
Good luck with everything, man. I hope it all works out, and love an update from you in the future.
All right, man.
All right,